Hello Clojure people, welcome to this demo of the Liquid text editor. It's a text editor written in pure Clojure without any other dependencies, not even any C core libraries or curses libraries or anything like that, pure Clojure. To start the program you just run the Java command and the class path to the code and class path to the Clojure jar file, and then you just have to put in the namespace, the primary namespace of the Liquid text editor, which is dk salsa liq core. Okay, let's execute that. I have written this program because I really want to edit and make extensions to my text editor using Clojure. I like working in Clojure, and with this program I can actually code Clojure while I at the same time improve my Clojure experience with an editor written in the same language. So I really like that. I have done a lot of modifications to Emacs to make it work well with Clojure, but I always have to do some native Emacs code to make it work, and I would like to just write stuff in Clojure. Okay, let's start this demo. I use the tab key for switching between two modes, just like in Vim. So one mode is navigation mode, where you use the keys for navigating, and an insert mode. Let's do that on another line, where I can insert text. So you can see it's the cursor is blue when it's in navigation mode, and green when it's in insert mode. The keys I use for navigating are the J, K, L and I keys. So I is up, K is down, J is to the left and L is to the right. So it's just like having the arrow keys right at your right hand. So take a look at your keyboard where the J, K, L and I keys are located. So they are laid out just like the arrow keys. If I want to move all the way to the beginning, then I just use the Shift key. So I use Shift J to move all the way to the start of the line, and Shift L to move all the way to the right of the line. If I use Shift with up and down, I'll just move the lines up and down. So that's just a nice feature. Okay, using Control Space, you will open a command mode where you have a type ahead for navigating buffers or opening files, inserting snippets or executing code. And you can modify the content of this mode in a .liq file, where you can just tell Liquid text editor which folders you want to search for files. So in this case I have just made a default to use the temp dir, and then I have copied the project into the temp dir, so now we can navigate the project. So let's just take a file like this slider CLJ. So this one contains the Clojure code. This is actually the heart of the editor. It's the structure that contains the text for editing. It consists of a before list and an after list, and moving the cursor is just the same as taking a character from one of the lists and moving it to the other list. So there's a list of characters before the cursor and the characters after the cursor. It works surprisingly fast. And you can also do undo, because I just every time I make an edit, I just push the change into another list, and then I can just move back in that list when I do undo. So undo works like, now I've made a change, then I can go into navigation mode and press U, and it will just undo the change I did. Okay. Another neat feature is I can navigate this code by, I can go to the top by pressing GG, like in Vim. I can go to the end by pressing Shift G. I think of G as the go-to button. So GG is go to top. If I use GI, then I made a function called index. So go to index is GI. That will list all the functions in this file, and then I can navigate using type ahead. So let's type insert, so I can go to the insert function this way and press enter. Then I navigate directly to the insert function. I can also navigate closure code by, let's take another file. I have created a context action which analyzes the context. If it's a file, and it tries to open the file. If the context is a function like this one, editor insert, then it will try to navigate to the file where this function is defined and navigate down to the function itself. So pressing Shift O here will just navigate to the editor file and to the insert function. So that's a way to navigate closure code. You can also evaluate code. So let's take an empty file, this one, and write some closure stuff. So this will just print the numbers from 0 to 9, or X, like this. And I can execute this file just by pressing Shift E. And you can see the content is written to the output on the left side. I can also evaluate parts of the code using just E. So if I want to evaluate this range 10 and see does it start with 0 or does it start with 1, I don't know, let's try it out. So I just press E and I can see it starts with 0. So it just evaluates the smallest S expression containing the cursor. If I evaluate from here, then it takes a bit more of the code. You can see what part of the code will be taken by pressing 1. Then it will select the S expression. Pressing one more time, then it will just move the cursor to the other end of the parentheses. So you can move forth and back this way. So that makes a nice way to move around in those S expressions and to check that parentheses line up as they are supposed to. Okay. You can also, let's take this slide again. You can search. So let's press Ctrl S. You can see it prompts you to the left for some search string. Let's also write insert and then press enter. And then it just navigates down to the first position where it has a match. You can just press N then to go to the next match. Okay, that was the last one. So you can use search that way. It's actually this prompt feature is actually very generic. It's just a function that I call with some parameters, and then it will just ask me to fill out those parameters. So it's easy to implement other functions that you need input for. Okay. Let's see if I have other things I want to say. That was the search, and yes, you can just make extensions by creating your own code and adding it to the class path when you start the program. And if you want to map keys or have the command in this command mode, then you can just point to them using the .leak file. I'll write some documentation later for that. Otherwise, feel free to download the code and have fun.